Hello and welcome to Paint Yoga. I'm Chief Inspiration Officer Alison Mead Rawlins. If you like what you see, please check out my website, teachingithacawellness.com. Look for more each week. Subscribe and hit that bell notification. Relax, de-stress. This is me time, I must confess. Paint yoga, cause it's time to get to know yourself. So take your art stuff off the shelf. Take a moment to ground yourself. Take a moment to let yourself. Let nothing else distract you from the shining star that you are. Paint yoga, paint yoga, paint yoga time. Paint yoga, paint yoga, paint yoga time. What is Teaching Ithaca Wellness? Teaching Ithaca Wellness is a sole proprietorship, LLC consulting company led by Chief Inspiration Officer Alison Rawlins. Paint Yoga is the principal program of the organization at the time of this recording in December 2020. The intention is for this to provide a therapeutic art experience for clients. In the past 6 months, Alison has brought you the 7-part series, including the Hindu 7-chakra model for processing the physical and mental experiences that we have collectively as human beings. Originally, she planned to offer a different therapeutic art exercise to perform each week for 7 weeks. But the project evolved over the duration, and as Alison explored and learned more about the expressive tools she has to work with, she grew herself through the experiences presented in that seminal series and has expanded the breadth of what paint yoga means. Paint yoga teaches a variety of sacred art concepts, as well as secular art theory, figure proportions, sacred animals, how to draw your facial expressions on the page, and psychology practices like behavioral and cognitive therapies. The therapeutic artistic expression exercises are firmly rooted in both esoteric and scientific foundations. A variety of techniques and paradigms found from around the world are explored in the exercises written by Alison based on the work variety of authors, internet resources, and personal experience in the fields of yoga, art, and natural science, as well as other world theories on artistic expression, energy, and light. Teaching topics include Vinyasa yoga embodiment, physical postures and vinyasa sequences, internal kinetics, grounding and trauma-aware modifications, Buddhist philosophy, psychology, Zen, detached awareness, Jnana yoga, self-knowledge, acceptance, integration, tantra, goddesses, the world of subtle body models, engaged mindfulness of Thich Nhat Hanh, alternatives to violence project, therapeutic art activities, practice, visualization, emotional processing, mandalas and mantras, secular art theory, color wheels, communication, research in color, ability to affect our emotions, composition, proportions, techniques, animal body plans and plant proportions and representation. To be Greek is to read Homer, though Ithaca, New York is distal in both time and space from the adventures of King Odysseus. This region, from Homer to Troy, Syracuse, and Ithaca, central New York, has a rich Greek mythology to its nomenclature. With the Ivy League Cornell University based here, Ithaca, New York shares another Greek connection in the fraternal and Hellenistic organizations associated with college housing and social programming for the scholars who gather here to advance their learning. In Homer's epic poems, King Odysseus is no hero, leaving his faithful wife and son for oft adulterous adventures, only to return finding 100 suitors vying for the affection of the family he left behind and the rule of his kingdom. In a work of such length and complexity, my brief summary leaves much of the story untold. But the way to use such work is to explore your own relationship with the concepts such as lawfulness, faith, loyalty, trustworthiness, etc., as you identify with the protagonist of the story. When you identify that they are not in alignment with the values we'd expect, you can explore and accept your own dissonance between the practice and ideals that you aspire to. In short, wellness is a state of peace and harmony within yourself, an integration of mind, body, and soul, or intention, to the spark of purpose for which you were created. This can be measured by Western science in physical fitness metrics and psychological analysis. The esoteric paradigms like chakras, meridians, auras, etc., are ancient people's ways of explaining those things we, in many cases, still don't understand. The final connection of these teachings of wellness to Ithaca is by the location in Ithaca, New York, where these ideas are currently being written, and the literal epic journey around the world and back again that every single one of us makes from birth to death in a human lifetime. Through Paint Yoga weekly episodes, we will share a variety of theories and practices that I hope will help you navigate your personal internal journey to optimize your attitude and behavior to reach your own wondrous, purposeful potential. Next week, we'll introduce the pantheon of goddesses who represent Shakti rising in us. In a couple of weeks, we'll chat about our dreams. Then we'll get into the way the natural environment affects our emotional and motivational energy. Then we'll talk more about the subtle body and the influences of intangibles like sound and light on the timbre and cadence of our daily experiences. Later this year, I want to explore other topics like leadership, consent, and actualization. Please stay tuned. Subscribe to help us collect the revenue from ads they will show you anyway, and reach out via teachingithacawellness.com for individual online coaching services with me. Namaste. Namaste, namaste. Hope you have a wondrous day. Until next week when we take another peek, so to speak, in Paint Yoga time. Thank you for the watch. I hope you learned something. For more great yoga science and esoteric information like this, check me out. I'm uploading once a week Saturday mornings. Hopefully I'm going to do that every week this year. That's one of my New Year's resolutions. So come on back and take a look what I've got to bring you next week. Subscribe.